Let me get the mic. Honey, I got something to say. Ooh, I like that. Can you turn that up for me?
What's up? What's up? It's your girl Maj, and we are back with another episode of Ask Maj, the podcast, where I am spilling all the real tea. Y'all, it's Wednesday. It's been a long week. It was a long week last week. It's a long week this week. But we are still here, and I'm so excited to be recording again and dropping content for you all. If you are new to this, welcome to Ask Maja podcast, where I am discussing all things lifestyle, pop culture, and social trends with a splash of Black girl magic. And if you ain't new to this, you true to this, so welcome back to Ask Maja podcast. You already know how this goes. So we will jump into, do I want to do life updates or a Maj moment first? Let's kick it off with Maj moment first. Then we'll get into some life updates. Then we'll talk about our small Black biz shout out. And then we'll get into some popping topics. How does that sound? And y'all, we'll get into some life updates in a second. But I tried out this new lipstick, right? I bought this new lipstick from, what is it called? Morphe. I don't know if it's Morphe or NYX. It's one of those. Anyway, I tried it today when I was getting ready to start recording, and it matches my earrings and my top. And we're going to talk about this top in a second because, baby, we got merch, and I need y'all to get your merch. Okay, we'll talk about that in a second when we get into some life updates. And then I got the pink and green vibe going. The nails are green, the earrings, lip, shirt, background. Like, it's just giving pretty girl. But we'll get to all that good stuff in a second. Let's jump into this Maj moment because I have a really inspiring Maj moment for you all. And the Maj moments are always aimed, at being inspiring. So hopefully the Maj moments do inspire you. But I watched, Kevin Hart has a platform called Heart to Heart, where he interviews, just impactful celebrities. I think he did like Don Cheadle one time. And so this, the most recent interview he did was with Jay-Z, and it was so good. It was so good. Jay-Z is so, oh my God, he's so smart. He's so talented. He's intelligent. Like, I mean, his mind, the way his mind works, I just love it. And he doesn't do a lot of interviews. And so when, Beyonce's the same way. And so, when they do interviews, I'm like, oh yes, I have to tune in. Child, and I love me some Jay-Z, but boy, that man is not attractive. Beyonce has a song, I can't remember what it's called, but it's on the album that she just dropped, and she says it must be your face because it ain't your cash. Baby, there is nothing you can tell me. Like, she was absolutely talking about Jay-Z when she said that. Like, I mean, absolutely, like, she was talking about Jay, because baby, I know you love this man, but how do you, it's just, yeah, no. Anyway, that's besides the point. I watched the interview with Kevin and Jay-Z, and one of the biggest takeaways from that interview that really resonated with me was Jay-Z said, one thing you can control is how you spend your time. And, after I finished the interview, that just resonated with me. I kept thinking about that. And, that's something that, I kind of struggle with because I'm doing so many things. Miss Black USA, my podcast, I work full time. I'm traveling once a month. I have speaking engagements. I'm hosting, and it's hard to kind of find that balance, right? And so that really stuck with me is, you choose, right? Like, you control how you spend your time. So, the Maj moment for today is be intentional with how you spend your time. Like Jay-Z said, you control. That is one thing that you can control, is how you spend your time. And so be intentional with that. Be intentional with, how you spend your time. Be intentional with your self-care. Be intentional with your work, with the projects, with the things that you're working on. Be intentional with your content that you're putting out. And don't invest time in things and people that don't serve you. Make sure that there's a why in everything that you're doing, and your why should be twofold, right? So your why should be what you're getting out of it, and then how you're also impacting others. So yeah, that's the Maj moment for today. It's pretty simple, but be intentional with, how you spend your time, and I'm in this place of, just reflecting, and we'll talk about this in a second too. But I'm just in this place of reflecting, with how I can better balance or how I can better harmonize, with just everything I have going on across the board and how I can better spend my time. Because every opportunity is not a yes opportunity. And what I mean by that is everything that comes across my desk, everything that comes across my email, every opportunity that, I'm given doesn't mean I have to say yes to. Every opportunity is not a yes opportunity. And that's one thing I'm learning. It's just to be more strategic with, what I say yes to, how I spend my time, and sort of how I balance and harmonize. And, I use the word harmonize because I'm reading, well, I just finished Gabrielle Union's second book, You Got Anything Stronger, that's what it's called. And she talked about how, when she would go on interviews, they would always ask her, how does she balance, and she would make up this, idea of how she balances, or this, just this talk track about, just balancing, being a mom, being a wife, and being her own person, chasing her career as an actor and author and all these other things that, Gabrielle Union has her hands in. But then she, at the end of the chapter, she said, there's no such thing as balance, right? Like we are all just trying our best. And so, I use the word harmony because that, to me, that's more so of, doing our best. And it means, I guess ensuring that everything you're doing is aligned, right? It's strategic, it's intentional, it's all in harmony. And so that's what I mean by, harmonizing or harmony. And so, yeah, that's my, my advice to you. That's the Maj moment for today is, be intentional with how you spend your time. Be strategic, with what you say yes to, where you invest your time. Be strategic about that. Be intentional about how you spend your time. So I hope that inspire somebody today, to do some reflecting, spend some time reflecting, with your time, what you're invested in, and be strategic about that, be intentional about that, reevaluate and make sure that, these are things that, are benefiting you, benefiting your goals, are aligned with your future and what you want to do, and that serve you, bring value to you. So be intentional with your time. Okay, so moving on, we got some life updates. Let's get into some life updates. For those of you who are new and may not know this, I am the reigning Miss Black USA. And, I've been Miss Black USA for a year now. So this is pageant week. And this Sunday, I will be giving away my crown. And so I'm in this place where I'm just like reflecting, I'm thinking about my reign and everything that I was able to accomplish. And, I'm emotional, like I'm excited, I'm happy. I used to always do this like word of the month on Instagram, on social media. And so, I kind of like to share that here. And I said this a couple of times before, but, my word for August is reflection, because I'm really taking, this time, as I, give my crown away. We are actually halfway through Ask Maja podcast season 2. We are halfway through. And so just as I think about, the future, as I look forward, as I think about this transition, out of this season of the podcast, out of, my crown, and out of this just particular season, I'm just doing a lot of reflecting of, what I want the future to look like, again, reflecting on what I've accomplished, what I want to do more of, what I've fallen in love with, really just what's next. So I'm excited about that. I am super excited about that. I will be giving my crown away this Sunday, and pageant week kicks off tomorrow, actually. So make sure y'all follow me on the gram, and all those good things so you can kind of keep up with, just pageant week and checking out all the queens who are competing. And, I'm sending love to all of them. This is a tough time. It's an exciting time, but it's a tough, time filled with anxiety, filled with like all of these, crazy emotions and feelings. And so I can only imagine, what's going through your head, what's going through their heads, because I've been there, I've done that before, and I felt exactly, what they're feeling at this moment. So sending love to all my queens who are competing this week. And yeah, I just, I encourage you to stay tuned, like I said, with my journey. I'm reflecting. And for those of you who are interested in watching the pageant, it will be aired live on Fox Soul. And that is Sunday, August 7th. Oh Lord, let me get this right. I think it starts at 8. I believe it starts at 8. I'm gonna stick with that. Y'all follow me on Instagram, and I promise I will get the time right there. But I definitely believe it's August 7th. It's definitely Sunday, August 7th. And I believe it starts at 8. So it will be live streamed on Fox Soul. So y'all make sure y'all check that out. Support these queens, these beautiful queens. Support me as I do my final vlog. So I'm super excited about that. Y'all, I got merch. We got merch. Baby, go and get your all exclusive Ask Maja podcast merch on my website, easy to get to. I've also added the link in my bio on my personal page, Ask Maj, and in the podcast page that's at Ask Maja Podcast. Go get your merch. This is actually, if you are watching on YouTube, ooh, child, got a little crumb. Hold on, let me wipe that off. All right. Ooh, child, didn't get off. Okay, hold on. Ooh, a little crumb. I don't know what that is. Okay, so this is one of the shirts, and this is what I was talking about. I tried this new lipstick. Child, I went to Ulta the other day, and I bought a bunch of lipstick for pageant weekend. I was doing some last minute pageant shopping this weekend, and I bought this particular lipstick, and I was like, oh, let me try it today. And so when I put it on, it happened to match the merch. Okay, like this was destined, and my earrings. It's super cute. I love it. I'm still warming up to it, but I really do love it. But yes, y'all go get y'all merch, and I really love this. This shirt is the Ask Maja Podcast anniversary tee, because on the back of the shirt it has all of the episodes from season 1. So it's really lit. Let me see if I can turn around without messing up the. Okay, maybe not. It's a small space. Wait, hold on. Here we go. Wait, can y'all see it? Okay, can we see it? All right, y'all can see it. Yes, okay. I know this probably got a whole bunch of noise in the back. But anyway, you get the point. If you are watching on YouTube, I just showed off the, this is the anniversary tee. And it says Ask Maja Podcast on the front, and then on the back, it has all of the episodes from season 1. So yeah, I have this shirt. I have a hoodie. Hoodie season is coming up. Go get your hoodies. It's an Ask Maja Podcast hoodie. I got an Ask Maja Podcast dad cap, which is super cute. You can pair it with any of the shirts. You can pair it with the hoodie. I got some super cute earrings. Those are limited edition. So when they sell out, but they're super cute Ask Maj earrings. I have an On Wednesdays, we listen to Ask Maja Podcast. What other tea? Let Me Get the Mic, okay, from the theme song. Let Me Get the Mic. Yes, so anyway, y'all go and get y'all Ask Maja Podcast merch. Support your girl. Oh, support a Black business. I think that's it. It's pageant week. Make sure y'all get y'all merch. And yeah, I think those are all my life updates right now. Yes, okay, that's it. So speaking of small Black businesses, our small Black biz shout out goes to, drumroll please, the Proud Black Brand. Make sure y'all follow the Proud Black Brand on Instagram. I believe it is at the Proud Black Brand. The Proud Black Brand, founded by Jalen Ward, was created in 2019 and is a multimedia clothing and lifestyle brand that focuses on representing Black culture with positivity and taste. In today's cultural climate, Black people are evolving every day, as well as our entire community. The Proud Black Brands, that's a tongue twister. Proud Black Brand, Proud Black Brand, Proud Black Brand, Proud Black Brand. The Proud Black Brand's goal is to connect all generations of Black people through our unique concepts, designs, and visual broadcasting. Most importantly, the brand aims to tell the story of what it means to be proud Black. So y'all go and check out the Proud Black Brand on Instagram and all of your socials. Oh, and they have a website too, theproudblackbrand.com. And Jalen Ward, he and I went to school together. That's definitely family. So y'all go and check out the Proud Black Brand. And he has some really, really, really cool merch that he just dropped. So go and get that before it sells out. All right, let's get into these popping topics. We got a lot to catch up on. Okay, so you know what? I be trying not to, do too much and include too much into the episode, because baby, I could talk for hours and hours. Okay, so baby, Beyonce is back, honey. I should have started with that. Beyonce is back, baby. And I'm just that girl. Oh my God, Beyonce just does it. Like, she just gets it. Like, the first song, like the intro, the opening is just, chef's kiss. I mean, like, I'm just that girl. Oh my, Like the message behind that, like that's the new anthem. Like anytime, like at this point, like that's my new anthem. That's gonna be like my response to everything. Like, Masha, how do you? It's just that I'm that girl. Masha, how do you? It's just I'm that girl. Masha, how do you? Or what did you? It's just I'm that girl. So anytime you ask me something, like that's gonna be the answer. That's gonna be the response, baby. It's just I'm that girl. I mean, baby, confidence is on 1,000. Like period per. It's just I'm that girl. Like, I mean, just I don't. Yeah, that's it. Like, I just want to cut the podcast off after that. Like, that's it. It's just I'm the girl. Okay, let me move on because I know y'all probably get in the way. Okay, so I love the album. I love the album. I love the album. And you know what? When Break My Soul first came out, I said this before, and I hope Beyonce never hears this. I wasn't like 100% feeling it. Like I love the message behind it, but I wasn't feeling the electronica vibe. Like that's not me. That's not what I was looking for from her. And I was a little skeptical about the album coming out because I kind of felt like that was the vibe she was going to go with. And the thing is, I feel like that is the vibe that she went with because, you know, as I was listening to the album through, I kind of felt like Break My Soul just fit like right, like it just blended right into the album. And even though I was a little skeptical, I actually love the vibe of the album. Like I love the vibe of the album. Like it's to me, I think it's very different for Beyonce. You know, she's never put out something that sounds like this. You know, it definitely gives into that. What is it called? I guess like house music or whatever, like that electronica. Like it still gives into that, but she still put a little bit of like, you know, her B or a vibe, whatever you want to call it. Like she still has that on the album. And that's what I love about it. And so I was, like I said, I was a little bit skeptical, but I fell in love with the album. And I think this is one of those albums that's going to continue to kind of grow on me. But, you know, off of the first listen, I was in love. And you know, I think there were, you know, I talked to several people about it, and I know a lot of folks kind of had like some mixed emotions because it did have that like house music, electronica vibe, in my opinion. But first, I think, you know, it's definitely not like regular beat, right? This is definitely not what I think a lot of people were expecting from her. You know, it's different. Like Beyonce has never made, to me, music that sounds like this latest album. Another thing is that, you know, this album is not an R&B album, right? It's not a four, it's not a lemonade. Like this is not R&B. Like this is not, I would not call this a rhythm and blues at all. Like this is not R&B. This is a totally different genre. And like I said, you know, this is different for her based on what we expect from her or what we know Beyonce to put out. So this is different, you know, but like I said, I still love it. And I think, you know, sometimes when we're so used to it, and I talked about this with the Drake album, you know, when we're so used to hearing something, it's kind of hard to accept when I guess when the artist is trying something new, because we're expecting to hear that same thing. And so that's kind of how I felt about Drake's album. Was not that it was trash or bad, it just wasn't typical Drake, right? It wasn't typical Drake. And like I said, you know, I love us Black people, but you know, I feel like if Drake did put out the same thing, then when we say, oh my God, this is regular Drake, or this is the same old. But then when he puts something new out, it's like, you know, well, I don't like this. So anyway, I definitely think it's different for her. It's not an R&B album. Another thing too, I noticed is, you know, it's not a vocal album. Beyonce did not do a lot of like singing. I mean, that true gut, like from the bottom of your just gut singing. Like we didn't get that. You know, I caught a few vocals, like she sung on Plastic on the Sofa and a few others, but it wasn't vocal beat for us. And so I think a lot of people kind of missed out on that too. But otherwise, you know, I love the album. I love the message, you know, the messages from the album. I think that's, you know, I love Beyonce's work ethic. I love, you know, how much she's dedicated to her craft. But, you know, one thing that I really adore about Beyonce is the message that she puts out. And so I love the message of this album. You know, a couple of my favorite songs. I love Comfortable. I love That Girl, of course. I'm That Girl. Cause she's comfortable in my skin. Cozy with who I am. Oh, I just love that. Like, oh my gosh. Like, I love that song. I love Cuff It. That's a super cute. That gives me like we skating top down in the Corvette, like, you know, riding around like that. It was like, it just made, it's a feel good song. I think the whole album is a feel good album, but those are a couple of my favorites. I love Classic on the Sofa. Baby Church Girl, honey, she was talking to me. She was talking directly to me. Honey, pastor's kid, church girl, grew up in church all my life. Hey, but I like to have fun. I like to have fun. And so I definitely feel, you know, I felt where she was coming from. I felt like she was talking to me. Another thing, baby, this was a song for the girls. And when I say girls, I mean gay people. Like, this was a song, I mean, an album, excuse me. This was an album for the girls. Like, this gave me Vogue all day, like basement voguing all day. Like, I'm like, I know the girls are all up in this album. I know y'all are eating this album. I love it. And yeah, like I said, you know, this definitely gives the electronic vibe. You know, when I was listening to it, it kind of gave me like I pictured in my head, like a Chicago club, basement club, white girls drunk, no rhythm, bumping into each other. Like, that's the vision I got from this, from, you know, like listening to, I guess, like the beat behind the album. But either way, I do love it. I understand the mixed emotions, but, you know, I do think that this album will grow on a lot of people. And there was something else I was getting ready to say. Oh, you know, the fact that there is, you know, I believe Beyonce confirmed that, I think it's a three-part album or three-part project, should I say. So this is Act 1. And so, you know, although I do love the album, I do love the direction that she went with this, I still would also love like R&B Beyonce, like vocal Beyonce, like that true 1+1 party, I care. Like, I still would love that. And so it would be really cool. Like, I would appreciate, you know, if she was to do, you know, that R&B, you know, true vocal B vibe on, you know, Act 2 or Act 3. Like, that would be holy grail for her to, you know, release a three-part project and have a little bit of like little pieces of her on each act. I think would be like, Beyonce, I'm good. I like, my money is to the side for the tours. Like, I'm ready for the tour. I've already been saving my money. Like, I'm ready. Let's go when you announce it, buying the tickets type thing. So yeah, I love the album. Like, I'm going to continue to listen to it. I got to start learning the words so I can sing them. But yeah, I love it. I truly love the album. So shout out my girl B. Beyonce's back, Renaissance, we here. And I mean, after a 6-year hiatus, I mean, what more could you ask for? Like, I'm just that girl. It's just, I'm that girl. If you haven't listened, baby, you're missing out. What are you doing? What are you doing with your time? Like, what are you doing with your time if you're not listening to Beyonce? Anyway, moving forward, Will Smith addressed, let me say this. Okay, Will Smith addresses the Oscar slap in a new video where he apologizes to Chris Rock. So the reason why I paused is because after watching, so the video is like a 6-minute video. It's on his YouTube. Go watch it. It'll take you 6 minutes. It's literally like 5 minutes and 45 seconds. Go watch it. The reason why I hesitated is because I didn't really feel like Will Smith actually addressed the slap. I feel like it was more of don't get me wrong, I think it was genuine. I think it was authentic, but I think it was more of like, the people have been waiting for me to say something, so let me say something and apologize. Like, I don't really feel like he addressed anything. When you say you addressing something, you know, or if somebody said they're addressing something, baby, I want the details. I want to know what happened. I want to know. And when I say what happened, obviously, I was watching it. I know what happened. But like, I want to know what happened from Will's perspective. Like, what were you thinking? Like, did something click in your head? Like, I got to go slap this man. Like, did you ever hesitate as you were walking up? Like, as you were walking, was it like, I can't believe I'm about to do this? Did you know you were going to slap him when you got up? And then like, if you watch like the clips, it looks like when Will Smith or when Chris Rock initially made the joke, Will was laughing. And then like, it looks like Jada rolled her eyes and then Will got up and went and slapped him. And then like, when he came back down and he was like yelling, it just was like a quick switch. And yes, I saw what happened, but like, I want to hear it from Will's perspective. Like, I want to know his POV. And POV is point of view for y'all who are a little challenged. Like, I want to like break it down for us. What was going through your mind? Like, what happened? I want to know all of it. Give me the details. Like, baby, let me call his publicist, because that it wasn't enough for me. He probably still is going through his healing journey. I get that, but he is probably still, a little fuzzy for him, which he did say in the video. So I guess I get that. And I think, he felt it was time to say something, but without going too much into detail. So maybe he will cover it later. But I think that's what I was looking for when we say he addressed the Oscar slap. No, baby, I want to hear, let us into your mind. That's addressing it for me. But anyway, so in the video, he's like reading questions. So he reads 3 questions. And I won't go too into detail about what he said. It's literally a 6-minute video. Like, go watch it, y'all. But the first question was that he was reading. So he like read the questions and then he would answer the questions in the video. So the first question was, why didn't you apologize to Chris Rock in your acceptance speech? So he goes on to say why he didn't apologize. He also mentioned that he has reached out to Chris Rock, and I guess Chris said he wasn't, ready to talk about it yet. So Will said, so I will say to you, Chris, I apologize to you. My behavior was unacceptable, and I'm here whenever you are ready to talk. He also made it a point to say that, after I guess he's been reflecting and thinking about what happened, he said, there's no part of him, that feels like what he did was right in any way. So yeah, I would love to hear more about, where his mind is, what he was thinking, all those good things. And it's not, for me, it's not like about him making an excuse. Like, I just want to know, I just want to know where your mind was, kind of just like a point of understanding. The next question that he answered was, did Jada have anything to do with it? And he did say no. He said no, Jada didn't have anything to do with it, which is also weird to me because, like I said, from the clip, it looked like, my earring finna fall out. Okay. From the clip, it looked like he was laughing at first, and then Jada rolled her eyes, and that's what prompted him to get up. So again, like, I just want to hear from his perspective. And then his last question was, what do you say to the people that you let down? And so he kind of went into detail about, just how he's working on himself, so on and so forth. So if you have some time, go watch it. Like I said, it was a 6-minute video. And yeah, I respect Will. I think he made a mistake, but I still love Will. Like, he does. I think he is all about, just like spreading happiness, spreading love and light. And he makes mistakes. So, I'm still here for Will. Like, I appreciate the apology. Not sure he didn't slap me. I appreciate the apology, as in, like, I respect him for coming out, I guess, and apologizing. Wait, y'all go watch the video. It's 6 minutes. Okay. So Caresha, Young Miami, my earring. It's about to give up. Let me see if it'll stay. Okay. Young Miami, Caresha, just dropped another interview for her Caresha Please show with Kevin Gates. And they talked his new album, past relationships, sex, and mental health. I don't really know where to start. Okay, so the interview was interesting. Again, if you have some time, I suggest you go and watch it. Kevin Gates is very interesting. And, let me say, like, whenever I record my podcast, right, and I am like, searching for topics and things I want to talk about, I always kind of go through and see like what people are saying about the interview. More so that I can respond to it, not that it influences my opinion, but I can kind of respond to what people are saying. And I just like to hear other people's perspective. The interview was very interesting. I will say, I think that Kevin Gates is intelligent. I think he's a very smart man. I think he's intelligent, and I think he's done a lot of healing based on, a lot of the things that he's talked about going through. I also feel that Kevin is a street nigga that's been healed or redeemed. And what's the quote? You could take the man out the street, but you can't take the street out of the man, pretty much. Like, that's what that is. So I think that he's healing. I think he's still on his healing journey, because, I don't think healing it has an endpoint, nor is it linear, right? So I think he's this street nigga who's healing, like, who's going through a healing journey and recognizes what he's been through and that he wants to heal from it. I also think he's very intelligent. I think he's very smart. I also think, Kevin uses a lot of, how do I want to say this? A lot of his intelligence or knowledge to be manipulative. I do. And I don't know if that, it's his intention, but I think he can be very manipulative. And so I mentioned before that, I was reading kind of through some of the comments, and I saw two sides, right? Some people said that they feel, he's a smart, intelligent man. He's way above people, right? And then other people were saying that he's manipulative. He's a narcissist, all those things. And I'm going to be honest, I think it's a little bit of both. Like, I think he's very smart. I think he's very intelligent, but I also think that he uses his knowledge to be manipulative. I do. I won't say that. Yep, there it goes. My earring is gone, child. The show must go on. Yeah, so I think he's an intelligent man, but I think I'm not going to go as far to say he's a narcissist, but I do think he uses his knowledge to be manipulative. And so y'all go watch the interview. I won't get too deep into it. The couple of things that I noticed that stuck out to me. I'm not super knowledgeable about different religions, right? Like, I think that's something that I could be more knowledgeable about. Kevin Gates recognizes himself or acknowledges himself as a Muslim. And so one thing I thought was really strange was, as he was quoting his spirituality, he quoted a lot of scriptures from the Bible. And I know that, Muslims go off of the Quran. So I thought that was a little strange. And again, that's something that I got to do my research on. And he did talk about, what it means to be a Muslim, and stuff like that. I did think that was a little strange. And hear me out. Like, I'm not here to say what you can and can't do, what you can and can't say, but the street nigga came out on the interview, And like I said, I think he's a street nigga who's healing. So he's a street nigga who's a Muslim. He's a street nigga who's a dad. He's like all of those good things. So he was still like just very, what's the word? Like, I don't want to use the word extra, but like he was a lot. Like, he was a lot. He talked a lot about his sex life, his sex fantasies, the things that he enjoys during sex. And I kind of felt like, why are you, like, it was like, I'm a Muslim on one hand, and the next hand, let me tell you what I be doing in the bedroom. Like, it just, and then he also talked about like his sexual life being sacred. I'm like, sir, you're telling us everything that you do in the bedroom. And then he talked about like, there was one time he talked about, wanting to have sex outside. And so he talked about like leaving the restaurant with his woman and like having sex outside the restaurant. But then he also talked about his relationship and sex life being sacred. So I'm like, is that sacred if you go and have sex outside? I mean, this man talked about like getting butt naked, like outside, because that's what makes him feel free and having sex outside, because we're natural beings, human beings, free beings. And I'm here for the free beings. I'm here for the freedom, but I'm not sure how that aligns with being sacred. You know what I'm saying? And then another thing I didn't really care for during the interview is when Caresha was asking him about his past relationships and asking him about, his sexual fantasies and different things like that, he kept using her as an example. And I thought that was really cringy. So like, for example, he's like, this isn't word for word, but he's like, imagine me and you having sex in the bedroom. I'm like, that was weird. Like, that was really cringy for me. Like, don't, like, as an interviewer, like that would have been really cringy, especially as a woman interviewer interviewing a man. Like, that would have been really cringy for me. Kevin Gates, I noticed, he's also an oversharer. And that also can be tough for an interviewer when the things that you are oversharing are not relevant to the question I ask. Because in my mind, it's like, we need good content for the interview, but baby, get to the point, like answer the question. So that was a little strange for me. That was a little annoying. And then I think lastly, I don't want to spend too much time on this. Like, y'all go watch the interview. It was very interesting. Like I said, I think he can be manipulative, but I think he's also a very intelligent man. So that's what I say. I think he's a street nigga who's on a healing journey. What was I getting ready to say? Gosh, I just had a brain fart. Oh, that's what I was talking about when I was saying like manipulative. So like, there was a couple of times where like Caresha would ask him questions about things you could tell he didn't want to answer. So he would like go in circles, like go around and around in circles. And so she talked about like cheating. I don't really know the history between like him and Drika, or whatever, but I don't, supposedly there may have been some cheating involved. I don't know the full story, and I did not do my research, but she asked him, a couple questions about like him cheating, like has he ever cheated? Why would he cheat? You know, like what some reasons for him cheating, so on and so forth. And then after she finished asking him, he told her, he was like, he feels like she's asking, like she's projecting her feelings onto him. Like he said something along the lines of like, I feel like these questions are coming from a place of like you being cheated on. And that is manipulative. Baby, this is an interview. If I ask you, have you ever cheated? You know, and if you have, why would you cheat? Baby, that is not me projecting. That is you, what's the word? Deflecting. That's you deflecting. So in order to deflect and then be manipulative, you're going to tell me that this is coming from a place of projecting my feelings and, you know, that I've been cheated on. Baby, it's an interview. Caresha's interviewing her. She did not at any point talk about her personal life. She's interviewing you. So what are you talking about? This is coming from a place of Caresha being cheated on. Like, that is manipulative. And I feel like if you do that in a setting like this, you do that with women that you deal with. And so, and like I said, there were other things that he said that I felt were pretty manipulative, but that really stuck out to me. So that's why I said, I think, you know, he's a very smart man. He's very intelligent. But I also feel like he uses that to be manipulative. So y'all go check that out. It's very interesting. And you know, I like Caresha's show. You know, I like Caresha's show, so I'm gonna continue to watch it. And I'm excited. I'm interested to see, you know, who she has next. But yeah. All right, moving on. So Kim Burrell, if you guys don't know, she is a gospel singer. She's been getting a lot of flack lately for a video that came out. So in this video, she's making jokes. So it looks like she's at this church. She's getting ready to sing. And before she sings, she's like making these jokes. And so at first, like before I watched the video, I saw this headline. The headline was saying like, Kim Burrell was calling church people ugly. Let me make things clear. I don't think she was calling church people ugly at all. Like, let me say that. Like, headlines are clickbait. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, make sure that, you know, when you see these headlines, you're doing your research, watching these interviews so you understand the full context of it. I don't think she was calling church people ugly in no way, shape, or form. So she's, you know, I guess it was like a joke. She's like joking. Before she's singing, she's making these jokes, you know, whatever. And and so the part, I guess, that people didn't care for the video at all, or anything she said in the video, the tone, the attitude behind the video, or behind what she was saying, people didn't like. But I think the thing that really went viral was, she was, I think she was like talking about the pastor of the church and that she was performing at. And so she was saying that this pastor, she loved this pastor. She enjoys working with this pastor because this particular pastor is really honest. And so she was like, you know, this pastor is truth personified. This pastor is really honest. You know, he's an integral man, so on and so forth. And then she says, but a lot of times, you know, being honest can make people uncomfortable. You know, telling folks the truth can make them uncomfortable. So then the joke was, you know, for example, she said, for example, nobody wants to be told that they're ugly. That's what she said. She's like, you know, nobody wants to be told that they're ugly, but the truth can make people uncomfortable. So that was the piece that really went viral. And I encourage you to go watch the video. Again, it's like, it might be like 4 or 5 minutes. You know, so I don't necessarily think that she was calling people ugly. I just think it was sort of a bad joke. But she apologized. We'll get to that in a second. I just want to get my thoughts here. So objectively speaking, right? Like if I didn't know anything about Kim Burrell, if I didn't have any background about her, I would say that she was just joking, right? Like as she, you know, before she started singing, I will say that, you know, I think she was just joking. However, the tone of the jokes had a very arrogant, demeaning tone. Like, and this is so I'm a pastor's kid, obviously. Like I know about Kim Burrell. Like my parents have worked with Kim Burrell. And we'll get to that in a second. But, you know, coming from a place of like, objectively speaking, like I don't know this lady. It did seem like she was joking, but it seemed like the jokes came from a demeaning place, like an arrogant, demeaning place. And again, I implore you to go and watch the video. But yeah, the jokes seemed like they came from a very like demeaning, like talk like I'm above you. Like it's above me now. Like that was the attitude or the tone or the feeling that I got from the video. So that's what I didn't like about it. Like regardless if she was, I guess, just joking. And like I said, this doesn't have anything to do with her character or what people have said about her before. I'm coming from a super objective place. I thought that the jokes were not, like, it just didn't seem like she had good intentions with her jokes, you know? And I obviously, you know, I wasn't there, you know, I'm watching the video, but that's what I gathered from the video. It just didn't seem like the jokes were like had good intentions. Especially for you to be at a church, like about to perform at a church. Like it didn't feel like it came from a genuine, nice, like trying to make people laugh. Like it came from like a demeaning place. And I just thought that was pretty inappropriate for where she was, you know. Now, if you are a comedian or whoever, Will Smith, Chris Rock, and you do a stand-up, that's one thing. But like at a church, and I, you know, it's fine that, you know, she wanted to lighten the room and tell jokes before she started singing, you know, and kind of give some personality. Like I'm here for that. But I think the tone just was very demeaning for me. Like I felt like it was demeaning. Now, coming from a subjective place, Kim Burrell has caught a lot of backlash, and I've heard a lot of I guess just like talk and rumors about how she has a nasty attitude. You know, I've heard that several times. I think she was on Sunday's Best before as a judge, and I didn't watch the season that she was on or any of the seasons that she was on, but I heard a lot of feedback that she was nasty to those contestants. And I've heard that, you know, just in personal conversations, that Kim Burrell has a terrible attitude. A very nasty, very terrible attitude, very arrogant, cocky. And I don't know this lady. These are just things that I've heard, you know, in conversation. And so I think when I look at that video and then add the context of what I've heard, yeah, it's just, I don't think it's good. Like, I don't think it came from a good place. And knowing that, you know, it's one thing for, you know, you to do something and not have, you know, bad intentions or so on and so forth. It's another thing, you know, to tell jokes like that, get up in front of people at church, you know, and do that. And to know that that's your character, I think that's a whole different story. And so, yeah, not necessarily feeling that. Like I wasn't feeling that, especially for her to not have a good rep when it comes to her character. But anyway, she released an apology on Instagram. And folks wasn't buying that either. But anyway, so she wrote this apology on Instagram. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but this is what it said. She said, as a kingdom citizen and a woman of integrity, I can acknowledge that some of my words, even if said in jest, can be offensive. My intention is never to hurt anyone, but to spread love, laughter, and more importantly, the gift which God has given me in song. If anyone was offended, I can sincerely say I apologize. So after she posted the apology video or the apology on her Instagram, she deleted it. Then she came back on Facebook and posted another apology, and it was a video. And she said she was posting this apology because the first apology was ingenuine, and she said her attorney wrote it and made her post it. That's what she said. Not those exact words, but something along those lines. She definitely said her attorney wrote it and she posted it. So the second apology, again, I won't go into detail, but it was a video. She said, please hear my heart. That's what she titled the Facebook post. She said, hello, everybody. This is Kim Burrell. I'm sorry. I mean it. I mean that. Not from the letter, from my heart. I released a letter 2 days ago. It did not convey right at all. And I must tell you this, it was from an attorney that asked me to do it. So yeah, but you know, I was getting ready to say, go watch the video. I'm sure you can still find it. Like if you Google it somewhere. But she also deleted that. She deleted the first apology and she deleted the second apology. So I need to follow up on that story to see what's going on with that. There was a video that I came across, and I believe she was singing like, she was singing Don't Break My Soul, like you won't break my soul. Like after all of this backlash, I guess she was like in church singing that. And I was like, that's not funny. Like, that's not funny. Like, you know, for you to demean people like that and talk down on people and then you want to say you won't break my soul. I'm like, come on now, Kim. You know, I know none of us are perfect, but girl, get it together. And for you to not have a good rep and to be, you know, a leader in the church and someone who is on the front lines of, you know, just Christianity and gospel music, like that's not good, you know? And another thing is like, you know, I wasn't going to adjust this, but, you know, I saw a lot of people saying like, oh, this is why people don't go to church. This is why people don't go to church. Baby, you don't go to church because you don't want to go to church. This don't got nothing to do with Kim Burrell, okay? Now, I will say people like that, you know, I'm not gonna say people like Kim Burrell, but people who have nasty attitudes in the church, but then turn around and preach, you know, God's gospel, it is a turnoff for people who are in church or people who are trying to find God, find religion, find spirituality. It's a turnoff, but baby, I'm not gonna agree with this is why people don't go to church. Baby, you don't go to church because you don't want to go to church. Because everybody ain't like Kim Burrell. You know what I'm saying? That's like saying that's why we don't like black people for whatever something that they do. Baby, all black people ain't like whatever it is that you don't like. So let's not do that. You know, but I do believe it is a turn off. And it's a bad representation of, you know, or a bad reputation of Christianity, of spirituality, of gospel music for people who are unfamiliar. I will say that. But yeah, y'all go check that video out. And of course, form your own opinion. Moving on. I really love this. So Miami Swim Week was 2 weeks ago. It was like July 14th or 15th. And the girls were coming hard. I saw Pretty B, Angela Simmons, Jada Cheese, Ari Fletcher. Like the girls were coming with it. Miss USA. What's her name? I know her name. I can't think of what her name is. Light-skinned chick, curly hair. She's the current Miss USA. She walked in Miami Swim Week. Oh my God, just beautiful. The girls were coming with it. But anyway, Angela Simmons, which, I've loved Angela for a long time and I just love what she stands for, but she posted a picture on Instagram, showing off her natural body. I mean, full natural body, no filters, no edits. I mean, you saw all of it, the cellulite, the hips, the curves, the dips, jiggles, like you saw all of it. And she posted this picture and I love that. And this was her caption. She said, "Raw, no edit, real bodies matter, and thick thighs save lives." And I think that was just a great representation for women who are, steadily working on their bodies, dealing with low self-confidence. One day I'm confident, one day I hate it. Like to see that from somebody who is influential, I think was just awesome. Like I think I applaud her like for posting that and being a representation for real bodies. And no disrespect to anybody else who's gotten surgery or whatever, baby, do your thing, whatever makes you confident, like by all means. But I am a natural body girl, and to see that was, it gave me a little bit more confidence, right? Like it made me feel better about my body. And so, shout out to Angela Simmons for just putting herself out there and just being real, raw, authentic, and uncut. So shout out to her, baby. And the body is bodying, okay? The thighs are thighying. Like, I mean, it was giving everything that it needed to give. So shout out to her. All right, moving on to new music. Danny Lay, who is also on a press tour, she dropped her new video for Dead to Me. And she also dropped her new EP, My Side. Y'all go check that out. Cardi B dropped her new video for Hot Sugar Honey Iced Tea. Money Long dropped her new video for Baby Boo featuring Sweetie. Lotto, this was really interesting. She dropped her song for USSY, y'all sounded out. And the song was addressing the overturning of Roe versus Wade. And so the song was interesting. Like, the song was interesting. I'll say that. Go listen to it for yourself. But I will say, like, I respect Lotto for where she comes from and the fact that she's using her platform to speak against issues that impact her, that impact women. I love that. I love that. Even if you don't agree with, how she did it or what she said in the song, like I respect that she's using her platform to speak out about these issues. So shout out to Lotto. Y'all go check that out. She has a video for it too. Saucy Santana released his video featuring Lotto for Booty, his new single Booty featuring Lotto. Y'all go check that out. And it actually has a Beyonce sample. Child, that Saucy Santana and that twerk, baby. Saucy Santana twerk better than all of us. Child, that thing be just shaking and jiggling and moving, honey. That thing be thangin'. That booty be bootying. Okay, y'all go check that out. Megan Thee Stallion dropped a surprise single, and I believe there's a video to it featuring Future called Pressurelicious. Y'all go check that out. King Combs dropped a new song and video for his new single Can't Stop and Won't Stop. Can't Stop, Won't Stop, not Can't Stop and Won't Stop, just Can't Stop, Won't Stop. Autumn Marini tapped in with Kodak Black and dropped a new single called Don't Stop. I think there's a video to that too. Don't give me the line, but it's definitely a new song called Don't Stop. So that's all your new music for this week. Y'all make sure y'all go and check that out. Shine, Black girl, shine. 13-year-old Alina Anale just became the youngest Black student ever accepted to medical school. And she happens to be a woman. Youngest Black woman, Black student ever accepted to medical school. And she plans on attending the Hersink School of Medicine at the University of Alabama at Birmingham. Alina, shine, Black girl, shine. Alina said, I'm just that girl. Better be that girl. You are that girl, Alina. Shine, Black girl, shine. All right, wrapping things up. Next week, we got a true friend of mine, Marcus Furby, who is an entertainment professional who has taken Los Angeles by storm. He will be on the podcast to talk about his experience in the entertainment industry. working with big stars, navigating LA, and his path to becoming a talent manager and production director. Let me say this in all authenticity. So Ferb, that's what we call him. His name is Marcus Furby. We call him Ferb for short. He was the very first interview I recorded for the podcast. I'm giving away my secrets here. Baby, there were so many mistakes there. So I got a real busy week. Remember, I told y'all it's pageant week, and I haven't started editing his video yet. So we'll see. I am saying that he will be the next interview. But baby, if that editing take too long, it was gonna be somebody else. Okay, let me say that. Okay, so it might be Marcus, it might be Ferb for the next interview, and it might not. We'll see how it goes, baby, because your girl's gonna be busy this week. Anyway, that's all I got for y'all today. Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all know I love y'all. Go get some merch. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and tell a friend to tell a friend about Smash the Podcast. And if you have a question that you want Lord Jesus, if you have a question that you want Maj to answer on the show, shoot me a DM at Smash the Podcast, and I will make sure that I answer it live on the show. Well, y'all, have a great week. Be intentional with your time, and I will catch y'all on the next episode. Peace.